What's up, everybody? We got a fun one for you today. This is gonna be for you gym junkies out there as well as you personal trainers that have tons of clients. So we're gonna teach you how to build the ultimate workout tracker, fitness plan builder known to man. I haven't found a better one, which is why I use this. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Grok. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new project. In this new project, we're gonna rename it and we're gonna call it whatever our name is or whatever our client's name is. So for this example, we're gonna say I have a client named Thomas Shelby. Perfect. Thomas Shelby, my client, and we're gonna give this workspace some instructions to work with. We're gonna say, you are a fitness expert dedicated to helping me reach my fitness goals and track all my workouts. Perfect. Save. Now that this workspace has some instructions to work with, we are going to grab my prompt that I've used. And this prompt is massive. It's not long enough to fit into the description below, so you're gonna have to message me on Instagram if you wanna use it. So it's Tanner Thompson. Message me on there, DM me on Instagram, and I'll be able to send you this prompt if you wanna use it. A couple parts of this prompt, but the most important right here is the client info. So if it's for you or if it's for one of your clients, you're gonna have to fill this out with their name, what they're working towards, so their primary fitness goal. This could be things like races, is generally the more specific the better. Put on muscle, not great. Train for a marathon, that's better. So that's gonna be your primary fitness goal. You wanna put the deadline. So we wanna set a deadline for this, whenever that's gonna be. Again, achievable goals is awesome. Your secondary goals, what this can be things like putting on more muscle, improving flexibility, things like that. Those are gonna be put in the secondary goals. Current fitness level, pretty self-explanatory. Your training experience as well. Current stats or benchmarks. The important thing for this one is it needs to be the absolute maxes. Whether it's your bench, your squat, deadlift, overhead press, your mile times, 5 mile times, marathon times, whatever, swim times, it needs to be the max. And it's better to undershoot this as opposed to overshoot it, if that makes sense. So if you're not sure what your exact max is, let's say you think it's 225 on bench, you don't know if you can get it or not, I'd say put 215 or 205. Put something that you can do, because the really cool thing about this setup is the AI is gonna get to know you. It's gonna get to know your patterns. It's gonna know how you operate, when you fatigue, things like that. So the longer you stick with these programs, the more in tune to you it gets, you personally. So undershoot it if you have to, it's gonna learn you very quickly. Body comp, that's pretty obvious. Your preferred training method, this one's a cool one. So if you're a CrossFit person, you can say, I wanna train CrossFit. If you are a high rocks athlete, you wanna train high rocks, you can say that. If you are a functional strength athlete, you can say that. If you wanna do a hybrid of two, maybe like a tactical athlete mixed with a marathon runner, so wanna combine the two, a hybrid athlete, put that in there, and that's the training that it's gonna give you. Your training days per week, you can say however many. In this as well, if there's specific days you want to train on, make sure you put that in. Your ideal workout duration, pretty self-explanatory. You can split this up into multiple. So if you're doing like hybrid type workout set, you got cardio some days, strength training other days. If you want your strength training to be like 60 minutes and your cardio to be 90 minutes, you can put that in there and it will break them up for you. Special skills or focuses. So if there is something in particular you really need to practice or work on, put that in there. It'll make sure to include it throughout. Any injuries you have, any exercises you cannot perform, what you have access to, when you want to start the workout in terms of date as well as times, because each day we're going to upload this to your calendar at the end. So put all that in there, and then your time zone. And then we've got the big prompt for it to output. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it create a fictional workout plan for Thomas Shelby. Create a workout plan for my fictional client, Thomas Shelby. So we're gonna submit that, and then it's gonna go to work. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, so just let it do its thinking. The longer it takes, the better, because it means it's actually doing a good job. But kind of to speak on that, the format that it's gonna output is gonna look a little bit weird. It's not gonna be a traditional paper workout, and it's not gonna be a traditional app that you've used either. It's gonna be a little bit different. So this is how I do all my stuff. What it's gonna output is called an ICS file. This ICS file, you're able to plug it directly into your calendar. So it's gonna show up in your calendar app, whatever you use, and it's gonna be there for you. So however you have your calendar set up, whether it's notifications, driving times, things like that, it's gonna include all of that, which I find is easier because I use that every day. So it's already plugged into my day, it's already planned out, and you're able to use it right away. So we're gonna upload it into the calendar. I just follow along there. And then once we're done with the workout, we're gonna come back to this exact workspace and we are going to give Grok an update on how the workout went, whether we completed everything with no changes, or if it's a zone 2 cardio or something like that. If our heart rate or our pace was different, we're gonna note that. As specific as you can get, especially in the beginning, the better, because the more data that it has to work with, the better it's gonna get to know you, if that makes sense. So this is where we're gonna track everything is in Grok, but where we're gonna actually do all of the workouts and stuff and see that is gonna be in our calendar app. So we're gonna let this create the 31-day workout program, and then I'll be right back once it's done. Perfect, so it looks like it output the workout. First thing I notice here is the time zone is Europe, London. Guess I should have saw that one coming. It looks like it gave him a lot of boxing and bag work, so wonder what kind of athlete he is. Two things to note here. The first one, obviously I need to change it to a time zone that I can work with so that it doesn't show up in my calendar at like 3 in the morning or something crazy like that. So that's the first one, I'm gonna have to change it. But the second thing is we don't want it to be in line like this. It should open up a separate page so that you can just download the file directly. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna type it in right here. You're gonna say, make this file so that I can download it. It's gonna pop up over here and you're gonna be able to download it. But if you remember, I need to change the time zone to MST in America and make it so I can download the file. Perfect, so it's gonna come over here. As we can see, it's updated the time zone to America, Denver, and it's gonna output the whole response here. So I'll be back once this one's done. Perfect, so it's done right here. And again, all we have to do is we're just going to hit the file button right here. It's gonna download, and then we are going to go to our Google Calendar. Once we're in our calendar here, we're gonna go over to other calendars. We're gonna hit the plus button, create a new calendar. This is gonna be for Thomas Shelby. I'm gonna create that calendar. And then once that calendar is created, we're gonna go to import and export. We're gonna hit import right here. Add to calendar, it's gonna go to Thomas Shelby since we're tracking him. Select a file from your computer. You're gonna select the Thomas Shelby workout plan. You're gonna open that, hit import, and boom, it imported all of his workouts. So now if we go back to our actual calendar, we hit refresh, and then it looks like he probably is starting on Monday. He's waiting to start, of course. Go over and boom, there it is. So it looks like he trains on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as at a different time. It's got lower body strength, boxing endurance, upper body strength, full body strength, and then boxing drills and cardio is his split that he's doing. So pretty cool. So the way that I track these is I go to the gym, let's say it's Monday the 25th, I'm Thomas Shelby and I'm working out. I click on this calendar event, boom, there's everything. It's got your warm up, your main exercises, your auxiliary exercises, and your cool down. It's got the exact weights you're gonna need to lift with, exact times, exact distances, everything is gonna be in there for you. There's zero guesswork. Okay. Again, here's our boxing, your heavy bag work, 4 times 3 minute rounds, speed bag, everything is in there that you will need. So now we're gonna go back to here. We're gonna close out everything. We're gonna go back to the home page. We're gonna go to our projects. We're gonna open Thomas Shelby up again, and we are going to start a new conversation here. This is gonna be our tracking. This is how we track all of the workouts. But before we can do that, we have to attach that same file that we put into a calendar. You have to attach that here so that it knows what you're working with. So right there, I just attached it. There's my Thomas Shelby workout uploaded for Grok to be able to see. So now I'm just gonna go in to start a conversation. I'm gonna say, I completed day 1 as planned. Boom, and there it is. Now it's tracked it. So we're gonna exit out, you come back tomorrow, you get day 2, you go back into that workspace, into your project, Thomas Shelby. You're gonna have to go back to that same conversation as yesterday, which is this one right here. I recommend renaming it, just calling it tracking, so that it's easier to remember which one you're tracking in. So you click on that tracking conversation and boom, there it is. There's your conversation from yesterday. And then you can say, I completed day 2 of my workout, but instead of, what was it? Day 2, heavy bag, 4 times 3-minute rounds. We'll say I did, instead of 4 times 3-minute rounds on the bag, I did 6 rounds of 3. Boom. And it's gonna track that for you. So you're gonna do this the whole way through. Every single day, you're gonna put in and you're gonna track what you've done. And by the end of it, you're gonna have 100% track. It's gonna know who you are. Usually by about a month, it's pretty dang close, pretty dang accurate, knowing when you start to fatigue, when you're feeling good. It knows what weights you need to be doing. It knows what distances. It knows your heart rate zones. It knows everything about you. So when you go into phase 2 of this workout, it's gonna be even more accurate. And again, phase 3 is gonna be more accurate than phase 2, so on and so forth. And then when you decide you wanna switch and do different goals, you're able to do so, and it still has all these metrics from what you've done in the past. Again, the prompt is where this all starts, but it's too long for me to put in the description below, so if you do want it, make sure you DM me on Instagram. Hopefully you get some value out of this, and hopefully you're able to track your clients a little bit easier and a little bit better. So we'll see you next time.